You do that?
Fuck.
Oh, fuck.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Natty 19 podcast. I'm Jonathan Marshall, and I am joined again by the Natty 19 crew. We're here for episode 85. Wow.
We're here with beer. Get used to it.
It happens.
Tonight's, this is late. I'm looking around. I'm seeing everyone tired. I wonder if there's anything we can do to spruce things up a little bit.
Cocaine.
Nailed it.
I'm down. Let's do this.
We're playing all night.
Railed it, more like it.
We'll end up in the bathroom with all the microphones.
Our combats would go a lot quicker.
Yeah. Did Charlie just go in the bathroom without us?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Natty 19 podcast. I'm Jonathan Marshall. We are here again for episode 85. I'm excited. I'm ready to get right into this. We had a great time there was a lot of a lot of caution last episode.
Yeah.
We're kind of in the middle of the Tomb of Annihilation.
You're in the middle of the
caution.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling it. Okay. Pussies.
Svitlongi certainly doesn't give a shit about anything beyond her goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of caution on that last sarcophagus room, but in the end, you guys pulled it off. You bowed before none. Let's get into this. Get the music going. Recap. So you guys came down. Okay, yeah. So you guys decided to come back up. You discovered 3 zombie heads. As you guys were approaching, they started getting more and more ravenous. They were connected to this apparatus, and it didn't take long for you to realize that by turning them, it would open the door to the tomb of Papazotl. This is where the dead god Papazotl was laid to rest. Now, Acererak had murdered these 9 gods and enslaved the Omawans in turn. And he had them build this, at least a couple of these levels of the dungeon. And he put the gods to rest here. You guys entered the tomb, you figured out the statue puzzle, and you looted the amulet. Copernicus looted it with his sword, threw it at Xavril. Xavril caught it.
You fool.
Xavril heard the commanding voice of the Ebli. Xavril tried to resist it. He failed, and is now carrying Papazotl as a commanding companion. And that's where we left off. What are you guys doing? Svitlongi, you smashed all of the glass cauldrons, and you guys are all still within this room with the sarcophagus.
Shall we continue on?
Xavril is making his way towards the entrance, and at the same point in time, I'm going to change the cloak color that I had, got from the merchants, my cloak of many fashions, and I'm going to change it to the royal blue color on the back of the Ebly bird, like their wings.
Oh.
If you're done smashing the place up, looks like Xavril's ready to go.
Yes, let us follow the hunter
She's got anger
toward
issues.
the exits. I do believe if we're leaving, it's an exit and not an entrance.
So you guys head out the north passage, leaving this room.
As soon as we're all out, Svitlongi will snap her fingers and have the zombies annihilated.
Oh shit, Copernicus got left inside. Let me get out. All right, everybody is out. Psh, the zombies just explode. The door slams shut, leaving you guys in that main balconied room. Down below, the 4 pillars with the gargoyles atop them. Now, from this level, you have got a passage to the north and a passage to the east. Still unexplored, and also a stairway leading down to level 3.
Let's continue around.
Perhaps east.
Yes, we will make our way east.
And that plaque we already read, correct? That's on the wall?
Yeah, that plaque on the wall is the one that Xavril had
That's
floated
what I read
down
before.
to. Yeah, and he had read that. The ring is a path to another tomb. The dead abhor sunlight. Only a jewel can tame the frog. Bow as the dead god intoned. And lastly, into darkness, descend.
Man, I kind of want to jump down there.
You do you, Hunter.
Just because you're possessed by a bird does not mean you can fly, Xavril.
How far down is that?
Ooh, what's in here?
Wow, that's a long corridor.
The corridor is 60 feet.
You guys need to keep up. You're slowing us down.
God, he's
Like a man in charge.
Mr. Bossy.
Maybe we should stab him like Caesar and throw him over the ledge.
That is a horrible idea, Copernicus. We could abandon him somewhere, though.
Caesar was bossy too.
So, you guys move up to the eastern passage and you look down. All the way down, you notice a large room with a sarcophagus way down there. Many, many feet. It's got to be
90.
like 90 to 100 feet, something like that. Now, before that, in that corridor, in the eastern corridor, you do notice that there is an intersection about midway.
Perhaps south? Keep clearing the southern end of level 2?
Are you moving down the corridor, or...?
No, she's just speaking from the end
What
of
do
the
you mean
corridor.
south?
The
We're at the
intersecting
intersection.
corridor.
At the intersection,
but-
it goes south.
And
The
north.
hallway goes east to west. The
So
intersection
I believe
goes north to
Xavril
south.
would be in the lead. Is that correct, Xavril?
Say that one more time.
You're in the lead.
Yes, I will lead. As long as you guys keep up.
Svitlongi will be behind him.
All right. As you move down the corridor...
You want the
I
back?
will actually stop one right before the intersection.
All right, looking to the left and to the right. Now, this is an interesting situation that can't really be put in a picture or on a map. At the four-way intersection, the corridors to the north and south curve upward and out of sight, but with no rails or steps to allow them to be climbed. Picture like a ring. The corpse of a half-human, half-goat creature in robes sprawls 10 feet to the north. It grips a staff tipped with a bronze goat's head.
A satyr? Is that what a goat man is?
Now, Xavril, you hear the voice, the bossy Papazotl. Have one of your minions investigate.
I was going to do that anyways.
Now, this is a circular hall. It's weird to see on the map, but it's like the inside of a ring. So the corridors go up and out of sight around you like a giant, like you're inside of a donut.
Okay. The ring is a
Copernicus,
path to another
Go
tomb?
get me that staff.
Yep.
Yes, Irame. I think you're right.
They can't be talking about the tomb that's so obviously in front of us, can they?
Why not?
Because that's odd.
This
Thanks
whole
for...
place is odd.
That's a great clue, thanks.
Way to go, Serac.
I don't know if I would have figured that out on my own as Serac.
You're so mysterious. With your death curse and your
How do you come
rings.
up with all these?
Copernicus.
What?
I will not say it again. Go get the staff. You can keep it as spoils of war.
Cappy will slap him on the back and go for it.
All right.
I like this new Xavril.
Cappy likes being told what to do.
I see that.
All right, Copernicus, you move about 10 feet to the north where the corpse lay at the bottom, right about at where the curve begins to go upwards. You feel gravity is strange, even at this point. The curve that had begun where the corpse is, you don't feel as if it's an actual incline. Now,
Interesting.
yeah.
Like I could just keep walking?
Yes.
Awesome.
And the corpse itself, it looks to be like the remains of a wizard.
Fascinating.
Let me see. Yep, the staff is at his side. Now,
I'll turn him over and rifle through, search him.
you'd be able to tell that the wounds that he had succumbed to are from axes and crossbow bolts. Now, within his robe, he carries a journal.
All right, we got a wizard here.
I'll relay all the information, axes, crossbow bolts, and I'll
Very
toss the
interesting.
journal. I'll toss the journal back down to Xavril to inspect further, and I'll pick up the staff.
Axes and crossbow bolts, that's the work of the tomb dwarves then?
Right.
He's also got a spell book on him with some wizard spells inscribed in it.
Stashed away, a group stash. None of us can really use it.
Useless.
While he's finishing rummaging through, I'm going to toss the book to Irme and ask her if she can find out any useful information from inside of it.
To those who find this, know that I, Delvin Bashir, am the last surviving member of the Company of the Yellow Banner. The warlord Raznasi stripped us of our weapons and threw us in here on orders of his master, Acererak. I can only imagine our souls are to be fed to his phylactery. Alas, it seems he has won. Our company was separated after the incident with the four-armed gargoyle. The tomb guardians tore Seward to pieces, and with him we lost the Starfallen. Our quest was a failure even if we'd found the eye. The elf princess was gone. My friends wouldn't have lasted long without their weapons, especially with a doppelganger in our midst, as Seth suspected. Of course I kept my staff. I'm sure Brixton would have seen some humor in that. Gentle reader, let a dying man offer you one piece of advice. Acererak is a trickster who desires nothing but your soul. His riddles may help you, but in the end, his final secret always leads to your doom. Timora, save us all.
Timora, save us all. I assume the staff
You don't need to
is
worry
useless.
about Timora. I will save you.
Would we be familiar with phylactery as a thing and as a function?
Certainly Xavril would be, and I would assume most...
I would think everyone would.
Yeah, I would assume most adventurers are familiar with liches and how they work. And so pretty much a lich, what really separates it from a lot of other undead is their essence, their existence is stored in like their life force called a phylactery. It's often like an urn or something like that, and their phylactery could be anywhere. And to really truly be destroyed, you need to destroy the lich's phylactery. And in order to gain strength, the lich steals souls and puts them in his own phylactery with his, and that's how he grows stronger and stronger.
He must be very strong then.
Irme is going to hand the book back to Xavril and pull up the lantern, and she'll speak to the elven princess apparently inside.
She does. She appears first with her hand, and now you see her face in the cloudy light.
Your master, was it Devlin?
She has a concerned look on her face immediately, obvious in distress, as she begins to weep.
Or the man who is to help you? I'm sorry, not your master. You are a princess, are you not?
Yes, this is the one that was meant to save me from this prison. I do remember this moment.
What does he mean, star fallen?
He would refer to me as his star fallen.
And what was this eye they were looking for, Elf?
It was the Eye of Zoltak.
Yeah, Zoltak, right.
Was said to free me from this. And she disappears with a depressing with a depressing look.
Like a teenage girl.
Her head lowers and you see her fade back into the light.
Wait. Who or what is Zoltak?
I know nothing of the artifact. It was not my idea.
Useless little bug.
Shake the lantern and walk away.
Ouch.
Irme pulls the lantern back and says, "Fear not, we will try to succeed where Devlin Vok failed."
You're having a bit of a
Yeah,
reading thing there.
yeah. I'm switching the V and the L.
Okay, yeah, so you've got this journal now. I mean,
Let's not
this...
delve too far into that.
Now, there's some information in here. Obviously, you learn more about the woman in the lantern, as we just did. You also learned a little bit of Sararak and his warnings.
Yep.
Their company was separated after the incident with the 4-armed gargoyle.
We also know there's a doppelganger potentially around. I'm not sure how long they live.
And this is a staff of hideous laughter, I assume. Sure, Brixton would have seen some humor in that.
I wonder if there's a connection between the elf, the elf and the Sararak.
Cappy will keep walking up the walls,
Alright.
and I'll use his staff. I sat through it, but I guess I'll pick it back up. I'll use his staff as like a walking stick.
Alright, what are you guys doing in the meanwhile?
Irme wants to see if she can tell from what direction that Devlin came from when he died, if he was traveling south or north. It's a ring, so, but...
Right. Why don't you give me a
Investigation?
investigation check?
19.
It's extremely difficult to tell, but it looks like there's tracks all around, almost like he was lost.
Can I tell how long, what does this body look like? Does it look well preserved?
It looks somewhat fresh. The wounds are very similar to... the wounds are clearly from axe and crossbow bolts. You can assume the tomb dwarves. They were wielding those weapons.
I wonder if we held the lantern up to the zombies, if they would have fled from it.
I'm trying to think if we've fought a zombie since then. We fought
The
Golem.
ones at the door.
The ones at the door,
Oh,
I mean.
right, yeah.
Copernicus, you continue walking the length of the ring, and as you're making your way down now.
It's wild. So I just walk and I'm upside
That is
down.
wild.
Yeah.
But like my hair doesn't fall up or anything, right? Because it's like the gravity shifts with me as I
That's
go.
right. Yep. So it
That's
feels
awesome.
completely normal, but you do still have a sense of the size of the ring and where your position is. However, when you reach the lower half, your companions are no longer there, and the
Yep.
body of the wizard is gone.
The ring is a path to another tomb.
Spirals, maybe?
Perhaps.
So as
Nope,
you
that
walk
makes
up, you
sense.
come down somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, what are you guys doing?
Waiting for Copernicus to come back and tell us to
Did
follow
I
him.
see him disappear as he was making his way around?
Well, you
You would have seen me go up and then out of sight.
right. Yeah, you can't see directly above it. You can't see
Okay.
directly above you. It's a closed loop.
What is taking him so long?
Yeah, I'll go back, Once I don't see them, I'll go back the way I came.
Oh my god, and we're not there.
Yeah, I know. Then what? I'll just start coming over on Fridays and play.
Just me and Wongo. Finally got
It's
rid
the way
of
you
him.
always wanted it.
You go mad with Wongo.
Enough time had passed for Copernicus to make a full loop, and he hasn't returned.
Even though he tried to backtrack, he hasn't returned.
Well, we were just expecting him on the other side, and he never came back.
Oh,
We don't know
okay,
he's
okay.
backtracking.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Should we follow your friend?
We should wait a...
All right, I'm getting bored. Copernicus will meet up with us.
Xavril, we can't leave Copernicus.
And then finally you see him return back down to the side that he came up from.
And as I'm coming down, I'll just say to you, the ring is a path to another tomb, Irame.
Let us follow. The tomb in front of us could be a decoy or a trick.
Maybe we should at least get eyes on it.
You guys wanted to finish exploring this floor, so let's finish looking at this floor before we go into another tomb, so to speak.
Honestly, I'm surprised he hasn't dragged us back to the river.
Yes. Yes, he doesn't want to go in the water. Let's just follow him. I'm into it. We're making decisions much quicker than normal.
All right, I'm going to walk to the entrance of the room on the east.
Perhaps we shouldn't move with such abandon. We haven't checked for traps.
Traps, schmaps. Xavril set him off just fine.
Oh, right.
Are you gonna take the meat shield feat if you hit level 8?
I don't know yet.
I don't remember the name of it. It's like-
I got to.
I was gonna say
live
it's
that
called
one
Meat
first.
Shield.
That'd be great if it
Yeah.
was.
So you guys are ignoring the ring and continuing onward?
Yes.
Oh.
For the time being.
I'm just taking a look at the room. Xavril is.
Alright, I will open it up.
I guess I shouldn't have said we all went with him. Irame definitely is with him. I'll let him go there by himself. She knows Xavril's not quite in his right mind.
Alright, so looking into this room, the room opens up. Well, let me just read the flavor text. This room smells of wine. On a checkerboard marble floor, a gilded coffin sparkles in sunlight streaming down from the chamber's vaulted ceiling, which arches 12 feet overhead. 4 huge stone gargoyle heads, their mouths agape, protrude from the walls.
Which of the trickster gods would be associated with wine?
I don't know. Let me check my old journal. I like this room, though. This is a Christie room.
I think, though, that we should probably go around the ring. I just didn't want to go too far without you, Captain Xavril.
Sorry, I didn't know who you were talking to. Did you see anything interesting over there? Was there any other paths to go to?
No, it's just when I came around the ring, none of you were there. And it reminded me of the passage. The ring is a path to another tomb.
It must spiral.
So the question would be, do we want to acquire all the 9 gods from this tomb or another one?
What do you hope to accomplish by facing each of these 9 gods?
Bending them to our will is good enough for me. But I thought we wanted to completely clear out this tomb.
Our purpose is to stop the Soulmonger. If these 9 gods can assist us in getting rid of Asarak and putting a stop to it, then we will use them.
Is there anything in these sarcophagi that you need? It does seem as though there's a weapon or a tool or item of some sort in each one.
Wouldn't it be that what we need? I mean, what exactly are you doing here, Svitlongi?
I have my own reasons for being here.
Is it not to stop the death curse with us?
She just shrugs one shoulder. Life and death are but shallow movements in the greater ocean.
I don't like it. One among us with secrets. That is the way of your people. You shouldn't expect any less.
I'm not here to do you harm, Drow. I am here because I too am an enemy of Raznasi.
Yes, that's correct. Raznasi is all but defeated now.
I'm just a puppet for a larger villain.
Raznasi would not be satisfied just being a puppet for someone else.
Well, are we going to go back up around the ring? We're going to mess with this room. I have a feeling this room is going to be a big trap.
See, I have a feeling this room is the correct room. If we didn't send just one person over the ring, and we had all walked, we never would have known that it was to a different tomb.
Oh.
What?
Saying that if we all went up and walked around together, we would have had no idea. We just thought we would have walked around.
Oh.
Yeah, but because you guys stayed and I went alone, we serendipitously
You mean you think, but you don't, that's speculation in that you don't even know what the other tomb at the end of the spiral
We
ring
don't know.
looks like.
Well, no, that's his point. That doesn't mean that this is necessarily a dummy room.
Nor is the other one. They could be two
Oh,
Yes,
completely
we don't
yeah.
know either.
That's exactly his. I think that was what his point was it not?
Yes, we don't know if either of them is the dummy room.
I don't think there is a dummy room. There's nothing to lead me to believe that there's a dummy room.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
I think they're just two different tombs. There are 9 tombs in here at least.
Yeah. How many floors are there?
does just say another tomb. Doesn't say like.
See, I was thinking
Yeah.
like this is the tomb of the 9 gods. That one could be the tomb of the 8 devils or something.
8 devils of Kimon.
It's not even the Tomb of Annihilation anymore. Different tomb altogether.
Why would I want to fight more devils like that?
Which way are we going?
I guess we're messing with this room.
All right, I'm into it.
It smells like wine.
Are we checking for traps?
Well, it's clear up to the room already.
Well, yeah.
She means in the room.
Essentially the threshold to the room, really,
All right, yes. Go ahead and look for traps here, May.
before we enter.
That was a good suggestion.
Perhaps also in the room itself.
Perhaps you can aid me, oh fearless leader.
Sure, I will assist. Gotta make sure you do it correctly.
Still not very good. 15? Not horrible.
15, you notice on the ceiling there appears to be a block, a large block. It's hanging over the entryway. It's looks like it's part of the ceiling.
Classic.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, it clearly looks like it's can be moved.
Like moved.
Like it's in the ceiling, but it's not a part of the
You
ceiling.
gotcha.
It's gonna drop.
So do I now look for a mechanism or a trip?
Looking around, you don't, the only thing in this immediate vicinity anyway, you only see that block that's out of the ordinary.
All right, is the block the same size as the doorway?
Yes, runs the width of the corridor.
Perhaps if we trigger this, it'll close us in or out or crush us.
Did we find thieves' tools?
Yeah,
We did.
I've got like 3 pairs on me, or in the group bag.
So is that if we wanted to try to disarm the trap, that's a sleight of hand with the thief's tools proficiency?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Does anyone have a thieves' tool proficiency?
Copernicus?
Or do you need the proficiency, or is it straight up dex?
No, if you're proficient with thieves' tools, then you can add your proficiency bonus to the roll.
Okay. Otherwise, it's just sleight of hand, but you have to have thieves' tools to do it.
You have to have thieves' tools to do it, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I have thieves' tools, and I'm proficient in them.
Oh, you do it then.
You don't notice anything on the floor or walls, or you can't really find the mechanism that would disarm a
I
trap.
can't tell if it's like the 5 foot in front of it, like if we were to jump into the room.
Maybe the...
No, you don't see anything right in front of you either.
Perhaps it's not a deadfall, but to trap us.
Perhaps the trigger is inside the room.
Yeah, it is a 5 foot. I mean, it's a big block. It's right above. It takes up the whole square
Yes.
above you in the ceiling.
I agree with
So it's
Sitlongi.
Should we go around the ring? No.
I'm wondering if the other tomb would be better suited now.
All right, let's do it.
Just at least go look at the other room, see if it's all the same. If it's the same, then we know it's probably one of them's a decoy. Whereas if we go up and around, now we're in a totally different area.
Yes, perhaps that's what it is. If we go this way, then we end up trapped inside with whatever arises from their sarcophagus. But if we take the ring as a route to the room, that won't happen.
We're going to follow the ring, and then I'll be proven correct.
All right, you guys backtrack and you follow the ring. Again, you make a full rotation and the body of the wizard disappears.
But the room is still there?
Yes. Yep.
So let us check if the block is still above the door.
Yep, the block is still above the door.
So, and you could still go around the ring, right?
Yeah,
We could go around the ring again. Yeah.
Yeah, how many
Are we going to
times?
leave one person at each one of these rooms to see how many?
Yeah.
Because he just went back last time. He didn't go around again.
Yeah.
Right.
So we just did a full circle. Perhaps we should leave an item in the same spot that we found the goat man. And we'll know that...
Yeah, like a copper piece.
Yes, and we'll know that that was our second time around the circle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep,
Alright.
you make a second rotation and you see your copper piece.
Oh,
What?
copper piece is there.
Okay.
So we didn't keep going.
No, we didn't keep going.
That's good.
Interesting.
That's a good thing.
That's a good
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah. Silver piece is going to be next.
Yeah.
Silver piece is gone. Someone took it. They're not going to take a copper piece.
No one bends over for a penny.
Yeah. They see a quarter sitting there.
Oh, I have to take that.
Does anyone have a suggestion as for which room we should go into?
Absolutely, the second one.
But all of Acerak's riddles will lead to our ultimate doom, is what the journal said.
But he says the ring is a path to another tomb. That would imply that we take the ring to the next room, not that we go through the ring to get to the room, which would be what we would do if we went through into the first version of the room.
Let's just do a group vote.
I grow weary and suggest we just select one.
Copernicus, you have a way to teleport out of there if anything goes wrong.
As does Svitlongi.
Well, then it's decided. You two will go in there and check it out.
Ooh, if the door shuts and you cannot
would
see
only-
outside of the room, then you could not. Don't you have to be able to see where you're going?
I don't think so.
I don't think with Dimension Door.
Oh, okay.
I think as long as we've been there, it's within
Okay.
Yeah,
range.
as long as you know of its existence, I think.
Okay. What am I thinking of? The Thunder Step or the...
I've already
Yes.
tapped my
Yeah. Okay.
4th level slot.
You are weak.
Copernicus will go into this room.
All right.
I mean, we know that first step doesn't have a pressure plate, so we're good there.
A pleasure plate.
And I'm
Are you
looking.
mocking me, Airman?
So we've gone around the thing. We're staying there. I'm going into the room.
All right. Yeah, it looks to be like a exact mirror image.
Does it still smell the same, like wine?
Yes.
Yes, it's a fine Cabernet.
A red wine. 72, I believe.
Lovely bouquet.
You would think it was 72 because the grapes were quite ripe that year, but it's actually a 71.
I don't know anything about wine.
There do I.
The sarcophagus. That seems to be the... Well, what are these fountain things? I'm checking them right now.
They're gargoyle heads. So yeah, again, there's the 4 gargoyle heads.
The
they're-
four-armed gargoyle.
Their
Yes,
mouths,
yes.
their
I was gonna
mouths
say.
agape. Yeah, so the 4 gargoyle heads, their mouths are open.
Are the heads filled with wine? So like-
They're pillars, I think.
No,
Oh,
they're
wait.
not pillars. They're against the walls. So
Something might trigger. I mean, we're looking at the map, so we're kind of metagaming.
What
Right.
What if the ring is a path to another tomb?
Perhaps we should throw a copper piece in the tomb, go back around the circle.
Oh
Let's
god.
just investigate this one while we're here.
I know, but now I've gotten into video game mode. Yeah, let's investigate.
Irme would like to look at the top of the sarcophagus if all appears safe.
And Cappy's down checking out the first gargoyle head.
So Irme's gonna walk right up and then do a perception check on the area directly in front of the sarcophagus before she gets close enough to read the inscription on the top or engravings or if there's any pictures.
Nope, there's no inscription on this one. It's just a
Ornate.
It's just a closed, plain coffin with no plaque. And the gargoyle heads, Copernicus, you go over to examine the gargoyle heads. So just let me reiterate: the ceiling, 12 foot high. You've got the sunlight, which is clearly illusory, because there's no fucking way sunlight can be pouring down onto this coffin. However, it is.
We block the sunlight, and whatever is in this room won't make itself known.
Yeah, so that's what you got. And then you got the plain coffin and the 4 gargoyle heads. And the gargoyle heads, their mouths are agape. So looking in, you see a crawl space. It is large enough to crawl into the gargoyles' mouths.
Ugh.
So it's hard to really, because the map already kind of has the wine in the channels.
Irme, step out of the room for a moment.
But looking up all the gargoyle mouths,
Okay, you said wine and then they're red, so I was thinking those were like flowing with wine, but that's not what's
you
happening.
smell wine, but you don't see any wine. Okay, the map is a little. It's like what Chuck said.
Right.
It's. Yeah.
All right, so Irme will leave the room as Copernicus told her, but not because he told her to do it.
He's gonna cast darkness on the sarcophagus.
Okay.
His innate drow ability, just to see what happens with the sunlight in the room.
I believe darkness would drown out the sunlight.
One of you trickster gods in here.
And I don't like this room at all.
You don't hear anything.
So nothing. The casting darkness doesn't do anything.
Well, you casted darkness on that. You wouldn't be able to see in it. It's
Right, it's magical dark.
right, and it does block out the sunlight, but
Doesn't
coffin's in the
summon
darkness too.
Should
no
we?
noises.
No, you don't hear any noises.
Can you end the spell to see?
Yeah, I can just end it, which I will. I was just wondering if something would manifest in the dark.
It's a good idea, Copernicus. Perhaps we should try on the other one.
No can do.
Ooh.
I need more rest before I can do that again. Better mark that.
Were there any clues that would guide us?
Not on the sarcophagus, no. Perhaps this is the wrong room.
Do we know which god this room would belong to?
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I could not
Would
figure it
Papazotl know or anything like that?
They hadn't chimed in, that's for sure.
Ultimately, Xavril, you'll find these trickster gods are quite useless.
You could always ask them. You could address them.
All right, I will address Papazotl. Do we know who resides in this sarcophagus, and is he worth our time?
I don't see anything that depicts anyone of value in this room whatsoever.
Could always try opening the sarcophagus if you're really curious.
Make a run for it, Cappy.
Cappy will go over and cram his crowbar in to a crease and start popping it open.
Oh, that was a great idea, Svidlongi.
I'm gonna need to know where everybody is.
I'm still outside the room. I think Cappy was the only one in, right?
Yeah.
I would like to...
Yeah, he told everybody to get out.
I am going to move out of the fucking doorway before he does that so I don't get crushed by a fucking square rock.
Put me on to the south side.
It's the doorway's one square to the east of you, right? Like the
Yep.
rock.
Yeah.
Oh,
Irma,
okay.
you're directly under the rock.
That's why.
that's where
That's
it
why
is.
I
That's
said.
where it is.
That's why I said.
Oh, I thought the rock was one end.
No.
That's what I
No.
thought as well.
No.
Okay.
The ceilings in this room are 12 feet tall.
That's why I moved. I will be moving, and I think Irma might have moved in had she not been overly cautious because of Obalaka, but she moves back instead,
All right, so looking at placement, this is where everyone wants to be.
leaving Copernicus
Yep.
alone.
Xavril's way back at the crossroads.
I've been directing everyone.
He's got control over his guy, so wherever he is, that's
Okay.
where he is.
Yeah, I'll pop the edge of the crowbar into the crease of the sarcophagus and look back, I guess, at Irme. She's at the front of the line, kind of smile and give it a pop.
That would be the last face, Copernicus's face. you
Yes,
ever see.
Irme's just going to shake her head.
All right. So you're looking at the coffin, because that's a distinction too that I noticed. This one's a coffin. Is there a difference between a sarcophagus and a coffin?
Yeah, well, I picture coffins being like wood,
Wood.
and sarcophagus are like
Stone.
Stone
exactly.
are decorated.
So I was
don't know.
picturing this
Yeah,
as a big
maybe-
stone sarcophagus.
You don't bury.
like the other ones.
You don't bury gods.
Maybe
in
one,
coffins.
one is buried, one isn't. Maybe, or one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's described as a gilded coffin.
So it's actually like has gold trim.
Oh, I think I know the difference. A sarcophagus, would a sarcophagus have like the, what do you call it? Like the form of a person embedded
Oh, that's a
coming
good
out of
question.
the top?
Sometimes.
I always thought it was like
Is it?
if
I
they're-
don't think it's necessary.
I don't think it's necessary either. I think if they're like not buried, essentially it's a sarcophagus, right?
Yeah. Well, it can be entombed.
Right,
not
like in
buried.
a mausoleum. or
Right.
something.
You don't bury
It's
sarcophagus.
a good
No.
question.
No, they're to be looked upon.
And I don't think you'd have a coffin that wasn't
Beard.
buried.
No.
It's a good question though.
All right, I gotta look it up because I'm curious.
All right, you want to do the?
All right, Copernicus, you shove your bar in.
Oh, it's just saying that the difference is a coffin is an oblong closed box, which a person is normally buried in. Sarcophagus is inscribed and decorated with a sculpture.
Oh,
A stone, you know.
Stone.
But
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was going after.
So it's the same thing we said.
So it's what we said. Okay.
but it's decorated with a sculpture.
I don't think that
Yes.
it has to be. A sculpture doesn't necessarily mean the likeness of a person. Sculpture
Right,
could
but
be
it's
an
still a
engraving.
sculpture.
No, an engraving on stone is a sculpture.
No,
Yes.
no, it's an etching.
It said often inscribed or decorated. That doesn't mean always.
Right.
All right.
All right, All right, Copernicus, as you shove your pry bar into the lid and pop it open, the lid flings open, revealing a plaque, a wooden plaque inside that reads in common, "Drown your sorrows."
Does the room start filling up with wine?
And
Yeah.
at that,
The room shuts and it fills with wine.
and at
Yeah.
that, and at that, the block in front of you, Irame, begins to descend at a rate of 1 foot per hour. No.
What is this, an episode of Batman?
The block begins to close, and the gargoyle mouths. You hear a and you hear the flooding of liquid, of a fluid of sorts, and then you see red wine begin gushing out of the mouths of all four of the gargoyle faces as it's splashing down onto the floor below. You can make an attempt to dash under the closing block, but it does look like a heavy fucking block, and that a failed dex check with high damage could prove extremely fatal.
Copernicus looks down at the plaque, and he looks back at the group. And he says,
Drowning my sorrows sounds quite pleasant, actually.
And we'll see you next time on the Natty 19 podcast.
I knew we chose the wrong tune. We knew the room was going to fill with wine.